Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Caboose bringing you another Gotham Knights video, and today what I got for you guys here is going to be my reaction to another IGN exclusive. Today, they're going to be going over the open world for Gotham Knights, and hopefully, we're going to get a good look as to how big this map is, and as well, just the different districts, the boroughs that we're going to be able to explore in this version of Gotham that's coming from this game. But hey, before we do so, if you're looking forward to Gotham Knights, it's coming out in just a couple of months, October 25th, right around the corner. Scroll down right now, hit that thumbs up button, share your excitement with me, and let's get this video to another 2,000 likes because you guys just keep on absolutely destroying the like goals, and I cannot be more appreciative of that. And with that being said, let's do this. Let's react to Gotham Knights building a brand new Gotham City with 400 years of history, and IGN first. Okay, so we got about 10 seconds left. I'll remind you guys all once again that when it comes to compression and all that, we're watching the premiere, so there might be some quality issues, and I'm sure a 4K version or a better quality version will be up online soon after.
In the 1650s, 5 families left Europe, eventually landing on the rain-swept islands that pepper the mouth of what would one day be called Gotham River.
Oh wow, we're really going over
the Waynes, the Cobblepots, the Elliots, the Arkhams,
history.
and the Kanes would build a colonial fort together and sow the seeds of centuries of dominance in the area. Gotham City was born. The city quickly spread beyond its original bounds, developing 5 boroughs, and in each, one of those 5 founding families would take root. In the early days, the Kanes established themselves on Gotham's natural harbour, now known as Historic Gotham, tying the family to their new country's military might, building ships and weapons of war. By the 1850s, Gotham had become a major trade hub, helped along by the industrialist Cobblepots and their smoke-belching Southside steel mills. Gotham continued to transform over time. In the 1920s, the Elliots took hold of the 20th century's newest means of control, mass media, and built downtown Gotham in a new Art Deco image. By the 1960s, Gotham had truly become a patchwork of industry and architecture.
Did they really make concept art?
Settled in North Gotham, building their famous asylum.
Gotham's history?
It's in the game.
Arkham Asylum.
It's not as you've previously seen it.
Okay.
The Waynes, meanwhile, built their billions in New Gotham, helping advance the town into a new technological age. Which brings us to the present day, and the Gotham you'll be exploring as Batman's protégés in Gotham Knights. Nice. An open world as soaked in history as it is by neon light and vigilante-friendly shadow. Warner Brothers Games Montreal created that history early in production, a whole new timeline for a whole new version.
Yo!
And it isn't merely window dressing. The timeline informs everything from the plot to the gameplay to the game's biggest mystery, the Court of Owls conspiracy. The team didn't just build an open world to play in, it's truly trying to build a city.
Yes! Actual gameplay! I'm so hyped about that! Like legit free roam gameplay?
Key to this take on Gotham are those 5 boroughs and the worldview of the families that historically controlled them.
So for us, the 5 boroughs,
that's a big map.
With the families moved there. They built imposing structures within those districts.
That's a big map.
And we build around that to where the identity for those districts really is based off of that family.
Within those boroughs, the team tries to tell stories without simply having someone speak them out loud.
If you visit a city in real life, it's hard to tell some of that history. So because we're making a game, really what we want to do is kind of obviously reveal some of that stuff. So there's a lot of areas that are kind of stuck in time.
Oh, this is so dope.
Even something as, kind of generic as construction, like it becomes interesting when it's halted construction or it's now abandoned and overgrown.
Oh, we saw this in the reveal trailer.
All those things are more interesting for the player.
Red Hood was fighting in the reveal trailer there.
A modern city. So we tried to have a lot of those areas where it's almost
and it's Robin gameplay too.
So the player can really experience what it was back then a little bit too and see how the city evolved.
This is awesome.
The team has historical and gameplay basis for every new environment. Take the Cauldron, built into the Cobblepot's lower Gotham area.
We always would like to tell a story with every borough, and there's one specific one that is not necessarily related to the family, but is an effect of some of the projects that those families undertook, which was a mining operation that happened in a riverbed. So they decided to wall off 2 sides of a portion in the water, and they dredged it for mining operations. It would attract workers for the mining operation. It was low-cost housing. It remained like actually a slum. And then
The Cauldron's history is written into its walls.
Oh my god, we go into the
Tumble-down
vents!
buildings and cramped,
Vents!
unplanned streets, all set in the shadow of the more prosperous districts around it. But all of this is a distinct gameplay choice too.
This spot is kind of like
This
a
open world looks
transition
awesome.
area
I don't care what
between
anybody
the
says.
Financial district and the south side. So we have like two very different themes while being in a third theme that is very organic, has a complete different way for the player to navigate over. It's a lot more parkouring. So the player always has the choice to pick the best tool and the best navigation verb to be as efficient as possible. And with different neighborhoods that will give you different experiences.
This interplay of
The
history
bike
and
just
gameplay can be
spawns.
seen across the city. The once beautiful Robinson Park is a symbol of the city's decay, but it's also an open space where your usual stealth tactics may no longer work in the same way. The enormous Elliott
You get,
Center
like,
is a
7
literally
seconds to
gilded
teleport.
reminder of the family patriarch, complete with a museum exhibit about the family inside. And it's
Okay.
also a complex, multi-layered bit of vertical level design built to house the Mr. Freeze boss battle later in the game. And it's not just that timeline that acts as history here either. While this is a new take on Gotham, it includes many references to the comic books it's drawing from. Of course, there are buildings you'll know, right down to deep-cut references like Noonan's Sleazy Bar from Garth Ennis's Hitman series, but the very fabric of Gotham itself acts as an Easter egg in places. Perhaps most interesting is that this Gotham has a public history and a secret history. We already know the game will center on the Court of Owls, a shadowy, manipulative group born of the founding families. Gotham itself will reflect that conspiratorial past too.
One of the things that we love about the Court of Owls, aside from the fact that, it's a new, fresh addition to the Batman canon, is that they represent a threat that is so embedded and so intrinsic to Gotham City that even Batman doesn't know about it. And the notion of a threat that is so intimately tied to a city that he considers to be his city, that he knows like the back of his hand, that he's been patrolling for, literally decades at this point. That's a very intimidating and scary idea. With that in mind, what we knew is that we needed to give you a sense of Gotham's history in order to be able to show all the ways in which the court is embedded in that. That feeling that Gotham is kind
I can't wait for this game!
And that Court of Owls is the embodiment of that, the personification of it.
The phrase commonly used at the studio for this is that they didn't just build up, creating those hugely visible landmark buildings and stories for every new district.
Oh my
They
god!
also built down.
We started to imagine how the
That's
fauna of the
awesome!
city could be affected by that. And it started kind of help suggest a geography, an urban geography.
Lots of
to the
underground
city,
stuff.
Going all the way back to like the late 1600s. And then we started to think, okay, well, what were the major events in history that they would have reacted?
They literally created concept art of the history of their Gotham.
Kind of exploitation of the West, like the building of the railroads, like all of these
That's
ideas
awesome.
became part
That
of
is
that
awesome.
conversation and allowed us to kind of
I love
build
these guys.
layers of accreted history. And we built it up and we built it down. Like we said, okay, what's buried under the city? Like, what are the hidden secrets that you can find in the course of investigating the Court of Owls?
Naturally, the team isn't talking too much about what those buried secrets might be, but we see hints of it as we're shown Gotham's open world.
There's
A seemingly
life in the city
nondescript
too.
building might be a gang hideout, which leads to a tunnel system that brings you into an exit into Gotham that you would never have guessed at, for example.
Oh, nice.
We want the Court of Owls to feel like they're involved in everything.
I'm getting
If you were
goosebumps.
to go to
I'm so
a
excited.
major city in North America, like often they'll build a city on top of another one. Like Chicago, like they had the fire, they just built on top of it because it's not worth like rebuilding, destroying and rebuilding.
Interesting.
So what the undergrounds allow us to do is kind of reveal that cross section of the city. So we have areas like that where you drop in, you keep going and you see
I like that idea.
things that you didn't know were there, that you didn't know the city was built on top of. And I think that's a really cool element. We try to allow the player to see kind of behind the scenes of the city, go under the surface, and as well as seeing it from up high from the bigger landmarks.
The result of all this work is that this take on Gotham aims to feel like a legitimate place, not just a sandbox for spandex
love that
crime
we got some
fighting.
free
We've heard
roam.
before that this will be the largest Gotham ever made in game form.
Hell yeah.
That's not what the developers are proud of.
We made a very big Gotham
be.
City, but what I think is really unique to Gotham Knights is the density of it. Sometimes I will be searching for something or fighting a crime and not realize how close to me something else is happening that I'm going to want to interact with afterwards or before. There's just such a depth of nooks and crannies to explore inside our city, and I think that that's really unique to Gotham Knights.
The idea of a Gotham packed with references, miniature histories, and sinister
coming out of the
mysteries
belfry
is alluring. After all, this is the promise of a town with real backstory. That it's not just
there's a lot of new gameplay this time,
story, but the city itself. Gotham has been
thank you, IGN,
to many people. It's appeared in comics, movies, and gaming worlds. It's been reinvented repeatedly, traveling through time with us, from block color 40s issues of Detective Comics to the grey monoliths of Christopher Nolan's trilogy.
Dark Knight, yeah.
All of those versions of Gotham have been snapshots of a city in its current form. Perhaps the most interesting thing about Gotham Knight's version is that we won't just see the city as it is, but hopefully learn what it's been.
How exactly will that happen? Okay, this
we'll
was
covering Gotham Knights and offering exclusive footage all this month as part of IGN First. And
this was their best IGN First yet.
16 minutes of the opening gameplay from the game, and we've revealed 28 new superhero suits that you'll be able to unlock.
This was amazing. This was amazing. IGN. Okay, so now we got it in 4K. I need to take another quick look here and see this in 4K. I can't get the video to 4K because I'd have to upscale it and it won't look as good. But, oh, yes! That's what I'm talking about right there. I don't care what anybody says. This open world looks rich. It looks vibrant. Definitely looks like the biggest open world yet. And it's, well, they talked a little bit about it here in this video. What excites me so much about exploring this open world is that concept, that idea that it's Gotham City built on the grounds of what was the original Gotham City. And so the undergrounds, these tunnels, these caverns, these caves, whatever it is that you're going to be exploring, there's a whole bit of depth, density, I believe Jeff Eleanor said, and it's so true. There's just that level of exploration that's going to be there with this game that goes beyond what's at the top of these skyscrapers, what's on the city streets, but also what's underneath. And that's going to be really amazing to explore, to see what all that entails. One thing I wanted to note just about the gameplay in general, I am so happy about the fact, and some people I don't think notice how big of a deal this kind of is, you can grapple to anywhere. That means you can grapple down, you can grapple to something across from you. It isn't like the Arkham games where you're only entirely grappling to something above. You know, you're not grappling up all the time. So I'm really excited about that. I like that you can kind of grapple anywhere. It just increases the ability to traverse around the city, and it makes it so that you don't have to entirely rely on those additional traversal options that the Gotham Knights have. So if you want to play as Red Hood and you don't want to use the Mystic Jump, you can just grapple kind of anywhere you want to go. Like you can see there, he grapples down onto this post here and lands onto it. So I think that's awesome. I really like that little bit. And the open world looks fantastic. I like kind of the smog and also the teleport here that we got to see from Robin. We got a good amount of extensive gameplay for Robin. Right? Maybe not so much so combat, but I'm glad that they put Robin as the one to be roaming around the city because we haven't seen a ton of the character in action. That suit he's wearing looks sick. I'm not sure which one that is or which suit style it comes from, but it looks fantastic. And yeah, everything that we got from this gameplay, I was incredibly impressed by. We also got to see how the bat cycle works. I think it kind of spawns with like nanotech. To be honest, I would have liked if they just copied the Arkham Knight idea in that wherever you are in the city, you just call it and it comes driving your way. I think that would have been a lot better, but it is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, I'm not losing any sleep over it. But yeah, the city looks fantastic. Everything about it, I'm very impressed by. Design-wise, it looks so great. I mean, the color that is there, the photo mode opportunity. I am going to spend an unhealthy amount of hours in photo mode for this game, and I cannot wait. And again, I can as well just tell that the folks at WB Montreal, you can just tell the passion that they have. And there we saw the bat cycle, the way it spawns in. But you can just tell the passion that they have in explaining this open world and what their ideas were. And even the fact that they created concept art for the literal progression of Gotham from its beginnings to where it is at the start of this game. That is passion right there. That is dedication right there. And I love it. I am here for it. Big shout outs to everybody at W Montreal. Again, I don't care what anybody says. You guys can give me shit all you want. I do not care. I just talk to the wall. I'm looking forward to this game. Everything we've seen so far gets me incredibly hyped. And this here has me super impressed. The open world was the one thing I wanted to get a deep dive into, and we finally got that through IGN, and it looks as good as I ever could have imagined it. But with all that being said, now I want to kick it to you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this open world, this free roam gameplay that we kind of got from Robin? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Sound off with your thoughts in the comment section below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, if you could consider hitting that thumbs up button, it would show your support, and I would really appreciate it. I'm Caboose, and you can click on screen to make your way to one of the other videos on the channel, or you can click my logo to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Those links are going to be in the description. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you have an opinion, and subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.